Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Peacemaker, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the latest episode of none other than Peacemaker. So the idea here is it starts off right where the last one ended, which is Peacemaker going into the alternate universe, and then we have the rest of the group kind of on our universe to kind of figure out what's going on there. So we're going to start off in the alternate universe, go back to the regular universe, and then talk about how it all comes together at the end. So, in this alternate universe, Peacemaker, his brother, and his dad are heroes, as were kind of alluded to in the beginning. However, they're very much praised by everyone. Everyone loves Peacemaker. Um, Peacemaker's dressed up in his outfit, which is pretty much just very fancy looking. Um, and he uses a peace cycle. So part of this is his brother, he's talking to his brother, explaining kind of like everything's fine, like don't worry about it. Like I was just drunk last night, like I don't want you to be too worried about me. And the brother's like, all right, well, I'm kind of worried because you've been disappearing a lot more than usual, and I'm just kind of concerned about you. And then that's when our peacemaker is like, don't worry about it. Like I'm gonna take your advice. I'm gonna talk to hardcore and really try to get things going again because I need to get my life in order. And he's like, okay, okay, good luck to you. So he then goes over to Argus. During this, he takes the peace cycle. Um, Everyone's cheering him. He's super loving it every second. Let's be honest. He's enjoying every second of it. So he then goes, meets with Hawthorne. We also find out that Hawthorne works at Argus, which we knew. He sort of works with Argus. It's unclear of the actual like link between him and Argus. We'll learn more as time goes on. But a piece I did forget is the actual episode starts with us finding out right before Suicide Squad that Rick Flag Jr. and Hardcore were an item, which was interesting. So anyway, then we had the events that happened, blah blah blah. But now we're here, right, in the alternate universe, and apparently Peacemaker was cheating on Hardcore with who knows who, and apparently Rick Flag Jr. Of that universe really likes Hardcore and would like to be dating her, but is not an agent of the typical sense, or at least the agent we know him as from our universe. You know, the war hero, veteran, um, overall badass. It seems like this one, I'm not trying to denounce whether or not he's still a veteran. It sounds like he is, based on this. In fact, now that I say that, he definitely still is. It's just doesn't seem to have the same personality, I will say. So, he's basically trying to figure out what Peacemaker is doing, and is he going to ruin the chances that he has with Hardcore? So he and Peacemaker and Hardcore go out to kind of have a moment to kind of discuss with each other. While that goes on, apparently there's a group called the Sons of Liberty. I had to really think about it, I'm sorry. Who are apparently a group of, we're considering terrorists for right now, going in to blow up government agencies daily. Well, they find out by one of the guys tripping, landing on the device, and blowing up and causing massive explosion. So the rest go to what I believe is the DMV. So Peacemaker gets up and he then decides to figure out or stop this event from happening. So he goes in to kind of help the situation. And he starts eliminating people like it is the most simplest thing ever. And he does it in exactly how we would expect Peacemaker to do it, or exactly how the way he does it in Suicide Squad, which I thought was very cool. Um, and we're seeing him do it with just such elegance and such grace. So in the end, he takes out all the guys and women, and now is to try to figure out how to defuse this bomb. He just unplugs everything and it doesn't blow up. Well, he gets out there. A helicopter is about to leave because they were supposed to take all of the um, terrorists out of there to then go do it somewhere else, I would imagine. While they're getting ready to go away, we have Captain Triumph, who is, although we don't technically know it's him, but that's who I'm claiming it is right now, who is Peacemaker's brother, comes in, flies right through the helicopter, causing it to crash down into the ground below. And Tim and his brother are celebrating and everything else, and they just find it to be the coolest thing ever. Hardcore is, falling in love with Peacemaker, and Peacemaker is falling in love with this new universe. So he's talking with his brother, kind of explaining what's going on, and how he's like, I really need to get my stuff together. Peacemaker is saying, by the way, and stating that, I need to take care of a couple of things, and then I think I'm going to be much better off. So when he says that, he goes back to his dimension, to what we're assuming is going to be to fix what needs to be done. So, what happens in the main universe? Well, in the main universe, we have Argus trying to pick up the pieces of the duck causing trouble in Peacemaker's home. We then also have the group, the 11th Street Gang, as they like to call themselves, waking up from being hungover from the party from the night before. Hardcore seems to be the only one that is able to function properly after waking up from drinking as much as they all did. So Adebayo and Hardcore decide to start talking outside while Vigilante and, oh my gosh, John, Economos, is there as well. So John is in the bathtub, and we have uh, we have Vigilante taking care of him, which is by far the funniest thing. So we have that Adebayo and oh my gosh, hardcore. Speaking to each other, trying to get Adebayo's trying to get more information of what's going on between her and Peacemaker, and she's making it very clear that she physically saw him leave, so clearly something happened, and she is trying to deny it like the plague, like nothing at all has happened, and everything's fine. Which I find to be very funny, in the sense of like she really doesn't want to open herself up to anybody. And Adebayo is really trying to explain to her that you're gonna have to eventually, like, something's not working right with you, and it's just not seeming to work at all. So that kind of ends their conversation. So back to the radioactive duck. John gets a phone call from Argus, basically stating, "How could you not tell us about Peacemaker having a meta duck, a meta bird?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" He just said, "Oh, meta duck." And he's like, he doesn't. He has a regular old bald eagle. And they're like, well, how come you didn't? He goes, if you read Peacemaker's dossier, it's clear as day that he has an eagle. And never once have I said it was anything other than an eagle. So then they basically tell him he's got to go back to work because they're all going to go and deal with Peacemaker as a team. So he goes there. The team of Agent Floor that are not hospitalized are there, along with a lot of Argus agents. Plus, John gets to work with none other than Judo Master. So the entire group goes over to Peacemaker's place and is ready to scope it out and take anybody and everyone down to try to figure out about this anomaly. Sorry. So this is at the same time Peacemaker is coming back into the dimension, and everyone's going to go crashing into his dimension. I mean, into his home. So that's how the episode ends. So obviously, there's going to be a confrontation between our Peacemaker versus Argus of his dimension, and figuring out how he's going to get out of that. So next episode is going to be figuring out that piece, and most likely going back to his universe. I would assume back to his old universe. The alternate universe, I should say. I apologize. Universe he's trying to take for his own. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. But it's definitely interesting to see where this is going. I'm enjoying this heavily. We are definitely getting a different side of Peacemaker that I didn't think existed, to be perfectly honest with you. And so the fact that it does is actually incredible. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing where the next episode leads to, and go from there. But for now, if you made it, let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not? And why? And as always, if you like the content you see, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.